I love to talk. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. And I especially love to talk to Jay. So today we're going to have a little bit of a different format because every Sunday, Jay and I we go to Starbucks, we share tea or coffee, and we have an amazing conversation. It's true, you drink and know things. And that's why we're going to let you guys have a sneak peek into a conversation that we would have at Starbucks. We will paying attention to each other and not really you guys. So you'll get a behind the scenes sneak peek at a little bit of our life. Yay. So do you want me to have like normal conversation too?
Well, the thing is, I don't even know what the topic is. Like, I don't even know what's on your mind or what you're going to say. It's just a normal conversation. The same that would happen if we went to Starbucks or some other cafe.
Yeah. Well, I've been really busy this week and last week. Right. And so I wanted to know why I get all this stuff done, right? All the things on my list are done. Everything is happening. People are responding. We're getting engagement. We're getting into the funnel, like all this great stuff. But sometimes I just, at the end of the day, I feel like I wasn't that productive. And so I feel like, I don't know, why? Why do I have that feeling? Even though everything is done, why do I feel not productive at the end of the day?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's explore it.
But you wouldn't say that at Starbucks.
I am saying it at Starbucks. Okay. Seriously, could someone do a bunch of stuff and not feel productive if they knew deep down they could do more?
It's a great question. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
So that's one possibility.
That's a possibility.
That's one possibility. Could someone not feel productive if they had been conditioned to see productivity as hard work and exertion, then they started following their passion and didn't feel the hard work exertion vibe and thus concluded, I guess I'm not productive?
Yes. Yeah, that's another possibility.
Would you say those are strong possibilities?
Yeah.
So now we have two strong possibilities. Either that person knows deep down they could be more efficient, more productive, do more focused, something,
right?
Get more help, have a bigger team. They know somewhere deep down they could be way more productive. Or that person is used to hard work and exertion being the only signs of productivity. And when that's taken away because they're following their heart and their passion, now they just feel unproductive.
So yeah, I think it's like the second one for me, to be honest.
Sure. I mean, who wants it to be the first one? I secretly know I could do more. Out of those two strong possibilities, one of them is much less kind to our egos, and the other one is much more comfortable.
What if it's a combination of both?
It could be. Could be one day, one the other day. It could be one half the day, the other half the day. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you asked a good question, and my mind immediately spit out two very strong possibilities.
Right.
Right?
Well, okay. So the reason why I think it might be both is on the days I was the most productive, I was the least busy. So what I mean by that is on those days, I did extra yoga or I did an extra manifestation practice or we played League or, you know, like I danced more. I had more smoke breaks. Like those days that I had like all this free time and did whatever I felt like in that free time were the most productive, but least busy.
Yeah. So are you saying that there are certain things in life that energize you and certain things in life that drain you, and on the days that you chose to do more energizing things, your overall day was more productive?
Yes.
Could this be why I suggest everyone do what they love and prune their schedule and prune their friend circles and do things that fulfill them and make sure they have a majority of energizing tasks in their day rather than tasks that are draining them?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this could be a big part of what I've been saying from the beginning, and now you're experiencing it more and more. And so now it becomes more obvious to you. When I do energizing things with no guilt or shame, and I do it wholeheartedly with complete faith and trust in myself and the universe, I'm rewarded with crazy productive things, synchronicities, coincidences. The tweet came out at the right time. Someone saw my stuff at the right time. I didn't have to lift a finger and people joined my list, yada, 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 right?
Yes.
Right. And if you look at your old life where you did a lot of shoulds and have tos and tried to be productive and grind out the stuff and really just engaged and filled your time with draining tasks, would you say you were the world's most productive human?
No. No, but see, then like, so I was raised similar to you in this aspect where you work hard and you're rewarded, right? And so your dad, your parents had the same attitude. They taught you the same thing, to work hard and be productive all the time.
Yeah, and then I was homeless for 3 years and only got out when I stopped caring about that.
Right. And so that's that part of me, though, from my childhood. Like my mom was a single mom, bust her ass, worked 3 jobs to give me whatever I wanted. And at the end of a day like that, where I'm super productive and I've done what I feel like and all these things, there's a voice in the back of my mind that says, yeah, but instead of playing that game or doing the extra yoga or the extra manifestation practice, you could have reached another 25 people. You could have done research for the next podcast you guys are going to guest on, or et cetera, et cetera. So this is the problem.
Yeah, so you just told me that the days you're most productive are the ones where you wholeheartedly, guilt-free, shame-free, pursue energizing tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they energize you, you get more energy, and your life blossoms with massive productivity.
Yes.
And then you told me that there's some voice inside that says, no, don't do that.
So at the end of the day, before I go to bed,
well, whatever.
I'm going over my day.
I don't care when the voice came.
Yeah.
I'm following what you said. I'm trying to understand what you said. And what you said on one hand is, when I do these energizing things, I'm crazy productive. My day always works out.
Yeah.
And at the end of that day, that awesome productive day where everything worked out and I got to do all my fun energizing things, I doubt that, regret that, harp on that, or run counter to that with some voice that criticizes the massive win on all fronts.
I want to defend myself and say,
I'm just trying to understand.
I know, but you saying all that stuff puts me on the defensive. But no, you're not. But I have to admit, when I feel defensive, that's the rule, right? I admit when I feel defensive so that we don't argue or have an issue.
Yeah, it's very good communication.
I immediately felt defensive.
Sure. I'm just trying to understand if you're telling me these two things.
Yes, kind of. Questioning.
Like I said, doubt.
I question the time that I did spend on those things.
Yeah, you can use the word question.
I do.
I can use the word doubt.
Okay.
But the point is, you're ruminating over something that was clearly a massive win on all fronts.
Yeah. So then why am I doing this?
Well, you tell me.
How can I make it stop?
You tell me. You think I do that when I have a productive day and do everything I love?
No. Most people will be excited and be like, yeah, I hope I have another day like that tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Most people would realize that this works. It's a massive win every time. I'm literally doing this every time until someone forces me to stop, until it stops working.
Right.
So if you don't do what most people do, if you have some other approach to this massive win, I'd love to know why and how and what your plan is going forward. Because if that worked for me, I'd be playing League and doing yoga every day.
Right.
Or as often as it felt good to me, every other day or whatever felt energizing. I would be doing whatever felt energizing. And trust me, 3 years homeless, getting nowhere, hustling, struggling, grinding, you will learn, do what feels energizing or you're never getting out of this situation. Real productivity will never come to you.
Well, that's what happened. So I've made a lot of poor decisions in the last few years. We've been together 5 years. And we have been in the same city for 4 years.
I'd say it's huge that you're willing to admit that. Most people would never say, I've made a lot of poor decisions in the last few years I've been with you.
Oh, yeah.
That's baller.
Thanks.
It's authentic. Yeah. But anyways, same city.
It's true. It's just true. And pretending that I haven't isn't going to help.
No, but huge honesty. That's super inspiring. In a world where everyone's lying to themselves and others, putting masks on, you just toss it out there. Yeah, whatever. I made a bunch of poor decisions when I was with you.
Yeah. So
anyways, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So in the last 4 years that we lived in the same city, the first year that I lived here, I made a ton of crap decisions. That was the worst year for me.
Well, so it's gotten better.
Decision wise, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it has. It has gotten a lot better.
Good job.
And in those few years, and I said the other day, I think of time based on our businesses because I can tell roughly
4 years, 4 businesses.
I can roughly tell what time of year when it was, depending on the business we are talking about. So when we were doing Rice Kink and the Den.
Yeah, you're wearing a Rice Kink shirt.
I am. It says boobs with the dollar sign. I don't know if it's the dollar sign, but it's because boobs are valuable.
Yeah. But anyways, you've gotten better with your decisions.
Anyway, so during the time when we were running Rice Kink and the Den, but those were the worst decisions ever. I was lying and not learning that much. Or not applying that much. Yeah,
we almost started the podcast that time.
We did. Instead,
so
we
close.
started Rise Wisdom. Anyway, the point is that in those times, I made so many poor choices, but I learned just what you learned during your homeless years. So I was busy and productive, but I was crunchy and I was unhappy, and not because of anything you were doing, but because I wasn't doing what felt right to me. I was doing what I thought you wanted me to do. Even though you were super clear and said, I want you to do whatever makes you happy, do what feels good. But I was a dummy and I didn't take you at your word, right? So you said, do what you love. And I heard, do what I want you to do. And you'd say, do what you love. And I heard, do what you think I think is best. Even though I didn't even know what that was, it was like an imaginary thing in my mind. But the real thing that you wanted was for me to be happy and for me to do what I genuinely loved and wanted to freaking do. So,
because I knew it would energize you and it would be the most productive thing.
Right.
Almost like I had secret knowledge of this productivity hack.
Yeah. And the whole time I'm working, at the end of the day, I would feel like I could have done more, but not because I could have done more, but because I wasn't doing what felt good.
Yeah. You could have done more energizing things. You could have done more things that energize you rather than things that drain you. You could have swapped draining things throughout your day for energizing things. Instead of taking the short route to work, you could have taken the scenic route. Maybe it would have resulted in an opportunity, or you met a friend or a new client or a new job opportunity. Instead of grinding through work all day, you could have played League for an hour, and then your first moment at work had you online at the same time as a fellow influencer and you guys connect. It's crazy how productive doing energizing things can make you.
Well, I didn't understand that. So to me, productivity was doing like all the things I was supposed to do, right? Like was supposed to make sure all the clothes were clean properly all the time. Like we didn't have a lot of dirty laundry, and to make sure the house was clean and make sure that we had 3 great meals a day, every day.
Sure, but I think I said
kitchen clean, and
we could skip all of that if we're going to help the world and grow this business.
Right.
I'll fast. Like,
you did say that.
Yeah.
I know. But again, you were telling me the truth and how you felt, and I was hearing whatever I felt that I should have heard or what I wanted to hear. I don't know. Anyway, the point is that I didn't understand productivity. And I think a lot of people out there don't understand it either, because we're told in school that we have to do the work, and if you go further in school, university and stuff, like they focus on all the reading and all the writing and projects and crap you have to do, and then finals and midterms, et cetera, right? So we're taught to be super busy all the time, but never once in school did anyone ever say to me, is this something you like to do? Is this something you love? Is this something that brings you joy and enjoyment? The only time I ever heard stuff like that was when I was taking classes that didn't count towards my degree.
Sure, but isn't our education system founded by the Rockefeller family trying to create more industrial workers who punch a clock and show up on time and buy into the American dream? Like,
of course.
Right. So what else would our education teach you? Like, their curriculum from the start has been better workers.
Yeah.
Like better slaves, like better wage slaves, not better entrepreneurs, better geniuses who create tons of money for little effort, or high leverage solutions or powerful investments. The education system avoids all manner of entrepreneurial skills.
Yes. Yeah.
But it focuses super hard on effective wage slave skills.
True.
Right. So what else are you going to learn from the American education system?
That exactly.
You could literally put anyone through it and they'll come out learning how to suppress their own joys and desires and passions and things that energize them in favor of doing what the establishment or society or their boss says. Yeah. This is what will happen to everyone who goes through that system. A few tiny % might break free and go and succeed as an entrepreneur, but they do it by giving a giant FU to the education system and ditching all the rules and stuff they learned there.
Right. Yeah.
The education system teaches you to get a good job and trade your time for money and seek a better hourly wage. Entrepreneurs are like, screw hourly wage. I'm gonna make millions from my laptop. Like,
yeah. And live wherever I want to live.
Yeah, they're seeking better things, a better life. And they do that by following their joy. So this is your choice every day. Do you want to live like school taught you to live? Or do you want to live life on your own terms?
No, that's why I don't have a regular 9 to 5. That's why I'll never have another one, is because I want to live life on my own terms and do whatever I feel like and live wherever I want.
Sure. But you won't pull that off if you keep doing draining activities. Think of all the entrepreneurs you look up to, all the stars, all the athletes, all the musicians.
Yeah.
You think they do tasks that drain them during their day? Yeah, I guess I'll just go to this job, even though what I really want to do is play my instrument.
No, I don't think that.
You think Beyonce is like, screw dancing today. I really have a lot of work to do.
No, I think if she feels like dancing and training, she does.
Yeah, damn right. She'll dance in the bathroom. She'll dance while she's doing the paperwork. She'll figure it out, man. She'll tell them all to screw off while she goes and dances. She'll hire someone to do it for her while she dances. She'll make them a partner in the business and offer them profit sharing and commission if they would just take the paperwork off her. She's going to find a way to go do what she loves. And she's been doing that since she was little.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So you get to be like Beyonce, or you get to be like a wage slave worker.
Well, no, I don't want to be a wage slave worker.
Well,
I'd rather be like Beyonce.
There's two different forms of productivity.
Okay, so then
one is like a paltry, meager productivity where you're like, oh, I guess I should cram more work into my last 5 minutes to be the productive worker. This is definitely going to put me ahead in life. And the other one's like, man, I'm just going to do what my heart says. I'm going to follow the things that energize me, and I'm going to watch life click, and coincidences happen, and synchronicities happen, and timing work out. And at the end of the day, I'm going to look back and be like, man, that was a great day. I don't even feel like I did anything. Two different kinds of productivity.
Yeah, I know.
I've tried both.
Same. All right. Well, this is very helpful to me, but if I want to get rid of that voice, because I feel called out, heard, and seen all at the same time when you said, I'm going to see if I can fit as much as I can in the last 5 minutes, because I won't even lie. I've done that a million times.
I know. And it hurts you.
I only have a few more minutes before I have to stop for the night. What can I get done? How much I can get done in the next half hour or whatever.
Yeah. That will keep you poor.
Why? Because I want to get a bunch of stuff done in the last few minutes?
No, that works for a Beyonce. That works for someone who's already following their heart. If you're energizing yourself all day long, doing tasks that energize you, then come the end of the day and you have that last 5 minutes, you'll still have plenty of energy and be happy to do it. In fact, you'll probably be like, you know what? I'm just going to stay up. Who said I have to stop in 5 minutes? I'm going to work on this choreo. I'm going to email my list again. I'm going to write my next blog post. Like, if you've been energizing yourself all day long and doing tasks that energize you, making choices that energize you, at the end of the 5 minutes, you're not in a time lack, like, oh, I only have X amount of time left. I have to cram some stuff in, squeeze in some tiny bit of productivity, like some robot or machine. Like, you don't treat yourself like a machine or a robot at the end of the day. If you've been doing energizing tasks at the end of the day, you're like, damn, I feel good. I might stay up and do another 25 minutes of work. I don't know. Or, you know what? It's been a great day. I deserve a reward. I feel good. I've crushed it today. I'm going to unwind for the last 5 minutes. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to wake up 5 minutes early and do it again. Like, it's just a different vibe. Like, there's the wage slave vibe, which is, boss is watching the clock. There's only 5 minutes left. I must be the most productive worker or I won't get the promotion. Like,
yeah.
What kind of panicky, paranoid, anxious, time-lacking attitude is this, right? Or there's the successful entrepreneur, successful athlete, successful musician vibe, where you look back on your day, you're like, I've been doing energizing tasks. Things have been working out. I absolutely hit it out of the park today. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of everything I did. I have zero guilt or shame, and I'm going to celebrate at the end of the day, or I'm going to do more of it, or I'm going to wake up early, or whatever. It's just a different vibe. There will be a different attitude at the end of the day. If you ever show me two people, one is doing things that drain them all day, and the other is doing things that energize them all day, at the end of the day, I will show you two massively different approaches to the remaining 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you got to ask yourself, how do I want to approach the remaining 5 minutes? Or how do I want to treat myself? Like a robot or like a person? If we want a machine to be more productive, we like add more oil or shrink the distance of the arms so it doesn't have to travel as far, and we give it unlimited power so it can run all night or whatever. But this is not how you make a cat or a dog more productive, or a baby more productive, or a human more productive. Sure, there's room for more efficiency. I love efficiency. I'm a super efficient dude, but not to the exclusion of all else. Not when I'm ignoring self-care or celebration or other parts of life. I just aim to be as efficient as I can when I can. Like, when I'm called to.
Right.
Not at the last 5 minutes of my day every time.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So like yesterday was one of those awesome days where everything flowed perfect. Everything went well. Like I got tons of engagement. I had like a lot of replies, and just everything just flowed perfectly, right? And then I got to the end of the night right before bed, and I thought, that was a super fun day. I'm glad that I played League and I had a lot of fun. And I think that I thought, well, now we're going to go enjoy. And the last 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes before I decide to get up and start my evening routine. And I got up and I was like, it's okay. I don't need to get any work done those last 5 minutes, 5 more minutes. I'm just going to go and start my routine early.
Great.
And
the world didn't end.
No, the world didn't end. In fact, everything went smooth. And when I came in here, you were like, oh, wow, you didn't need more time. You were on time and you were good. And
yeah, so that decision worked out.
Yes, it all worked out. And I smiled to myself because I was like, well, yeah, the reason that it happened is because I just followed my flow. I followed my feelings. Whatever felt good to me, I did it all day.
Yeah, almost like your feelings are an emotional compass guiding you towards your most productive, fulfilling choices, actions, and path.
Right.
Could that be what emotions are for? Are emotions pointing us towards the most fulfilling and joyful things for us, even though we refuse to act on them and always try to push them down and suppress them? Could they not be nudging us towards something better?
Yes.
So if you want a productive, fulfilling life, should you question and doubt your feelings all the time, or learn to start collaborating with them? Learn to see them for what they are. Learn to read them. Learn to nudge them. Learn to change them. Learn to adjust them. Learn to navigate and use your emotional compass.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So for you, when you were laying on a park bench, you had issues with productivity.
Yeah.
Then
I was grinding and hustling for 3 years on the streets, running my business, trying to make money, trying to get out of it, man.
Right. So I just want to be clear. You were being super productive while you were homeless.
Yeah, like a wage slave though. Like, oh, if I stay up all night, maybe I can make just enough money. Oh, if I do what I don't want to do, if I take that client that I really don't like, maybe I'll at least get off the streets for one night. Like, it's so desperate and so needy and lacking. But when I finally gave up and I was like, screw it. I don't even care if I die. I'm not taking another client I don't like. I'm not doing another task I don't like. I'm not struggling to find food. I don't feel like finding food. I'm happy to starve here. So screw it. I'm going to do what I like. I don't feel like getting out of this situation anymore. I tried everything. I tried harder than anyone else in the world to get out of homelessness. I was God tier at it and it got me nowhere, and I'm still homeless. So I'm done struggling, and I'm done trying, and I'm done being productive, and I'm done doing what society says. And I don't care if I'm a homeless failure that no one ever loves. Like, you could put it on my tombstone. Died homeless and useless and worthless and a failure. I don't care. I'm doing what I like for my last days on earth. Oh, this inspired one choice and another choice. And I had a great idea and another great idea. And it led me to a great client. And now I'm working with some celebrity. Man, why didn't I do that earlier? Why was I stuck on the wage slave productivity of trying to squeeze out every minute of the day to get the promotion in life? Why didn't I just follow my feelings and do what I like, even if it's scary? That would have been awesome. I didn't have to have 3 years of suffering. It took me a while to start doing what I love.
Oh, interesting. You had 3 years of suffering and I had 3 years of stupidity.
Yeah, and it took you a while to start doing what you love.
Interesting.
And the fact that we're having this conversation says you still might not be doing what you love.
No, I wanted to be clear. Like, the reason...
Got a little voice in there.
So doing what I love has been a very interesting journey for sure. I'm glad that you brought that up. So in January, it really clicked for me what you meant by this. I mean, I have intellectually understood. I mean, I'm not an idiot. Doing what you love. Okay, do what you love. But
you have to embody it.
Yes.
You can't just know it.
No.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
And
you have to live it and practice it, internalize it, and embody it.
Yes.
Knowing it is weak sauce.
Yes. And that voice really that pops up in the back of my head at the end of the day. And I love her very, very much. Right. Before I say this, I want to be clear. I love my mother a lot. But it's her voice that I hear.
Yeah, most people have family voices or school voices or society voices in their head. But why are these people living rent-free in your head? It's so weird. I get why. We've all been trained that way. But you got to stop it sometime. You can't just be listening to voices your whole life. Why aren't you listening to your own voice, your heart's voice?
Because I didn't have that voice.
You did, but it was a whisper, and you paid more attention to the other voice. We hear the voices we pay attention to.
You know, the funny thing is that she never even said that stuff to me.
No, she doesn't have to. It's not parents' fault. They have that voice in their own head.
Yes.
And kids are sensitive to vibes and energy. They're sensitive to how people live, and they role model the people above them, not what the people say, what the people do. And if your mom already has that voice from her grandma and like her grandma before that and her grandma before that, that voice is in all y'all.
Yeah.
But someone has to break the chain, right? Someone has to break the generational curse. So like I had the same hard work productivity voice in my head because my dad had it and his dad had it and his dad had it.
Right.
Someone's got to break it.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years of homelessness to figure it out.
Yeah.
It takes most people hitting rock bottom to figure it out. They don't want to go against that voice. It's a voice of a generation. It's super scary. It's reinforced by Rockefeller and the education system. It's reinforced by everyone around. It's scary to go against that. It's like that meme with the giant crowd and there's like one guy and it's like,
oh, I know which one you're
you are all wrong.
Yes.
And he's standing up for some conviction, some belief against 8 billion people.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening here. That's why no one does it. Because for me to say, screw society, screw productivity, I don't care if I die homeless. I honestly don't care. I'm going to do what I love, even if it's wasting away and starving here. I don't give an F. To say that is going against 8 billion other souls. Like all these people who believe the same things about productivity. It's going against the whole education system. It's going against generations of voices.
Well, on top of that, you and I are both children of immigrants. So it adds to it where both my parents are immigrants and I'm first generation, and they put a lot of pressure on me indirectly by telling me the stories all the time, over and over and over, how hard it was in the American dream and how lucky I am, and because I was born here or there, and it put added pressure on me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kids pick it up through osmosis.
Yeah.
And your parents never have to say a thing directly about productivity. It will just come through. They will live like a wage slave and they will teach you to live like a wage slave. And so most people just go their whole life like that and die a wage slave. If you want to break free of wage slavery, you have to adopt a different approach towards life, a different approach towards productivity. And you have to go against the 8 billion voices that have reinforced this, make sure you use every last 5 minutes to be efficient attitude, right?
Right.
Be a good worker and get promoted attitude. It's like you can get promoted and you can live a great life, but not with that attitude.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Like I said, both my parents were immigrants, and both of them have had the attitude of I have to work hard to achieve something in life. I have to work hard to have that American dream. And while both my parents have different levels of success,
it's mediocre.
It's totally mediocre.
That's what I'm saying.
Compared to what they could have.
That attitude that you just said can take you like this far in life.
Yeah.
Like this far. Like, I don't know, 100K, 500K, something like this. Yeah. A decent family or whatever.
Yeah. Middle class.
Right. But life is like this. Like life is giant. Yeah. Like there is so much to experience. You could be traveling. You could be having adventures. You could be rich. You could be famous. You could be healthy. You could have a great family. You could do whatever you want. But wage slave attitude, wage slave productivity, it only gets you this far. And then you have an ulcer or cancer or whatever. Like,
yeah, if they had another child, they wouldn't have been middle class.
I'm saying, like you're one child away from a brutal life, right?
Yes.
But you were productive. Great job. But there's a way better approach. And it's the one everyone's seeking. Everyone dreams of that like delicious, easier life. It's like, yes, but you won't have the easier life until you learn to do what I just talked about, what I learned to do when I was homeless and what you're learning to do now. And you have to do it with a giant FU to those voices.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because it is my mother's voice and is my aunt's voices.
I don't even remember them.
And she instilled a lot of these
wage slave mentalities.
Yes. Even though she was an entrepreneur, I remember putting a penny in my hand when I was 7 or 8 and telling me, save every single penny. It looks like nothing, but it means a lot. And over years, you will have a lot.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is not how you provide value, and is not how you truly earn wealth in society.
That's why
compounding is a great principle. There's nothing wrong with teaching it, but acting like it is the be all end all and you have to apply it to every coin you have is madness. And the thing is, I bet you any money she was a mediocre entrepreneur who basically had a second job, or like basically had a job with the entrepreneur title. Like she just had to go to work every day. Yes. That's not freedom. That's not true entrepreneurship. That's not next level stuff. You're just working, but your bosses are now clients. You think Elon Musk and Beyonce and all of these people are just workers for their clients who are their bosses? Like, they don't have that attitude. These are like masters of the universe. They're like doing whatever they want and everyone's falling in line. Their staff does what they want. Their clients better learn to like it. Like technically they could get overthrown or whatever if they like become a dictator and get the whole world against them or something. But generally they're living a way different life than those mediocre entrepreneurs with the wage slave mentality.
No, she definitely did. And my entire family does. The entrepreneurs, the successful entrepreneurs that are in my family, my cousin who is her child is similar. He's successful. He's made more than his mother, but he still lives in that slave to my business and I have to do whatever my clients say because they run my business and I can't lose them.
Yeah, it's obvious because I've been dealing with this from you for years. I don't run my business like this, but you do. And I put you in charge of marketing. And so the marketing goes about as well as any wage slave would.
That's really neat. Like,
No.
Like, I don't know. It felt mean.
Not at all. I'm trying to say, like, I wanted you to get free from these voices.
Yeah.
So you're not going to do it by me sitting down and saying all your generations of family and aunts are wrong and you should stop listening to them and those voices have to go.
No.
You're going to learn it by going through what I went through.
Yeah.
Like, that's the process. Like, the process is a trial by fire, like a crucible. Like, you don't unlearn this stuff from a lecture.
No, of course not.
You unlearn it through taking your lumps and making mistakes and learning how hard productivity really is. Like, learning how hard the wage slave mentality is to live. And it won't take you anywhere.
Well, yeah.
And all the way along, I've been nudging you towards a do what you love, energize yourself thing. And you've been doing great. And you've unlearned it in like a handful of years, what would take people forever. Like, it's a 40-year journey for you. Like, whatever.
Yeah, you've said that to me before. Like, it's taken 40 years
to learn it.
Learn that stuff.
So if it takes 4 to unlearn it, that's baller.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't saying anything mean. This is normal.
Well, again,
if someone's been whatever, if someone's been brainwashed for 40 years by all of society, letting them unlearn it through some hard lumps for a handful of years is nothing.
No, I know. But like,
it's a major investment, but it's not like something to feel bad about.
No, I guess that question that was on Twitter this morning, that's what popped into my head.
Yeah. Like, that's my point.
So
that's literally the exact thing I'm talking about.
So people know what we're talking about. There was somebody asked a question on Twitter if you should build an empire single by yourself or meet a woman and build the empire with them. And so I said, like, we were both building separately when we met and we decided to build together. And you have definitely lifted me up and helped me. But I don't know if I have for you.
I mean, you obviously have. I've done more on camera than I ever have. You're asking the deep questions. I've been teaching like God tier level business stuff just because you're around. Like,
of course, that's what came into my head when you said that, and so I felt defensive because of that. Because sometimes I'm not sure.
Well, I can spend the whole conversation praising you if you want.
No.
But if you need validation and reassurance, I can give you tons. Like I just started to. I was like, well, you did this and this and this and.
No, I want to help people.
Yeah, so I'm staying on point.
Yes. Anyway, the point was productivity. And so, like, you are the most productive person I've ever known in my life.
Because I do energizing tasks.
But you do the things that you love.
Yes. And I stop if I don't.
Right.
Or find a way to make it fun.
So yesterday, you came up behind me and you were like, have you taken a break? And I was like, no, I haven't. I had been working for a while and you called me on it and were like, maybe you should do something fun.
Yeah. And you need more breaks than I do. Facts.
Yeah.
So then do what energizes you. I'm not criticizing. I'm not like, oh, you're worse than me because you need more breaks. Every human is different. And if you want to be productive, you go do the things that energize you. For me, extra work usually energizes me. A break will annoy me.
Right.
I mean, I still need some. But honestly, I'll be more productive if I just keep working. But maybe you'll be more productive if you dance or do yoga or talk to some friends on Twitter or TikTok or something. And then voila, a new connection, a new client. Oh, this is amazing. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you weren't working. Sheesh. We would have missed it.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what I mean when I say do what you love. I mean without judgment, not comparing to me or anyone else. Just do what you love. I don't care how it looks. I don't care if it makes me look more productive or me look better. Just go do it and watch what happens.
And again, I want to state that every time I do this, every single time, I want to make it very clear to everyone and anyone who's listening. Any time that I do what I actually love, not what you love or what you think I should do, or what I think I should do, but the thing that actually feel like doing in the moment. And sometimes it's work. Like, I want to be clear. Sometimes it's work.
Yeah, because most people who are doing what they love feel energized and want to do something with the world. They want to engage the world. They want to put themselves out there. They want to express. They want to share. It's super rare that if you do what you love for 3 days straight, you just never feel like working again.
No. And so I get a lot of pushback out there from people because, I deal with the public a lot. I get pushback on this because they say, I have to work and I have to make money. I hate my job. I don't work because I want to. I work because I have to.
They just repeat the same voices from every generation and every ancestor. They're never going to change and they're going to die a mediocre wage slave. Sorry.
Yeah. And so for me, what I tell them is, if you need to feed your kids, then feed your kids, of course. And
yeah, they come up with all sorts of stuff like, what if I feel like letting my kids starve? Yeah. And I'm like, all right, man.
Yes.
You're right. My whole argument's destroyed with your awesome example.
So but what I say is like
what a joke of an argument.
Find a job that you enjoy. There are jobs that will pay you 9 to 5 that you will enjoy doing.
Yeah.
You will
enjoy. Find a job that energizes you.
Right. Exactly.
No, my only choice is let my kids starve or don't.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or this crappy job or nothing.
I'm like, all right, like this is not a sincere discussion. Like you're not even, it's just some like intellectual internet philosopher, like just trying to catch you in something. I'm talking about real practical life. I'm talking about something that if you try it and you practice it, you will see it works for everyone who's ever tried it ever. But if you want to just sit back from the cheap seats without throwing your hat in the ring, without actually giving it a shot, then keep sniping with your weird intellectual arguments.
Well, they'll say things like, I love to Netflix and chill. I love to eat Doritos and cake. I love Diet Coke and Reese's.
Sure.
But I can't eat that stuff, but I love it.
No, it's cool. Like, so then you go ahead and you eat your Reese's for 3 days straight or your Doritos for 3 days straight and watch if you love it after 3 days. Yeah, like, I don't care. It's 3 days out of life, man. What's 3 days? What's a week? Go eat Doritos for a week and then come back and tell me that your taste buds still love it and your stomach still loves it and your body still loves it and you still are desperately seeking it. You won't. You'll be done and you'll be like, I'm never touching this stuff again. It gave me hives. It gave me a rash. Like my stomach's rejecting it. I'm like, yeah, because what you love isn't what you've comfortably done. They're different things. Like what you love is something from your soul, from your heart. It's like when you get quiet and you meditate and you tune into yourself, or when you lay on a bench and question your life, or when you take a hard look at your like super hard day where you're getting ulcers and stuff, and then you ask what I like, what do I really love? You start to get a real answer. What I love will always take you out of your comfort zone because the human being is meant to grow and blossom and expand what we're comfortable with. We're meant to keep growing our comfort zones. We started as a small child who could only do a few things, and then we learned to do more things and more things. And as we get better at our job, we're like, I wonder if I can do better than this. Or maybe I could try a new career or a different industry. Like you're meant to grow. You are meant to change. You are meant to adapt. And so anyone who says, oh, what I love is sitting around the couch eating Doritos. I'm like, yeah, okay, man. You're totally tuned into what you really love. You are self-aware, man. You know exactly what you love. I can tell I'm talking to the world's most Zen monk here who really knows this shit. Like, no, I just want people to know if you're sitting around saying, I love eating Doritos for a week straight, that's my passion and purpose in life, and you don't know what you really love.
Actually, I agree. I agree that you don't know what you love, because the reason why I say that is because I was in that place. And so when I first heard this, I thought, okay, do what I love. Well, I want to eat a bunch of Reese's and drink a 2-liter of Diet Coke, and I want to smoke a lot of pot.
Go ahead.
And lay on my living room floor.
Sure, watch what happens.
And so I did that. Yep. I did just that, right? Good. I got sick to my stomach. I ended up feeling super unproductive. My house was a mess.
Did you love all that?
I liked. No, I did not.
Did you love all of those consequences?
No, I didn't.
So I guess you didn't like it that much after all.
But I'll tell you the problem, or what the thing was. The thing was is that we're used to. I'm going to talk about when I worked a regular job. Okay, so when I worked a 9 to 5 job, like normal person. And then I got off of work and I sat down with some Reese's and a Diet Coke and watched Netflix, or back then it wasn't Netflix, whatever, cable TV.
Yeah, it was your comfortable habit.
Yes. And so back then, if you had told me to do what I love, I would have said, That's what I love.
Sure.
Sitting on the couch, watching TV and eating cake or Reese's Cups and Diet Coke. Right?
Sure, I'm sure that's why your soul came to Earth. Keep it up.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was not happy in my job in my regular life. And so when I did the Reese's Cups and Diet Coke and TV thing, it was a way to block out the fact that I was doing stuff that I didn't love to do.
Yeah, it's like having a rebound guy.
Right. Yes.
This guy sat around on the couch all day and he was ugly and whatever. So my next guy is going to be a playboy philanthropist. Like, and you just get into bed with the next playboy. Oh, but he cheated on me and I don't really like this. And I kind of wanted like a family man. And it's like, yeah, because you just took a rebound guy. Like you just did an overreaction to the shitty thing you were doing.
Yes.
But what you really loved was neither of those things.
Right. So if back then you had asked me, what did I love to do? I would have said, oh, the couch, we'll say Netflix, Reese's Cups and Diet Coke.
Yeah, that's because doing what you love is a skill that takes practice. And if you are rusty, then you do not know what you love.
No. And those people who say those things now, well, I like to do these negative consequence things like be high or drink and eat a lot of stuff or whatever, like those lazy things. It's because they do like doing those, but because they hate the rest of their life.
Yeah, they do it as a rebound. It's not what they really love.
Right.
It's what they temporarily love as a rebound until they get used to having too many Doritos and they move on to something else.
Yes. Because if they really did what they love all day, if I had sat on the couch from the time my kids went to school till they went to sleep at night and just ate Reese's Cups and watched TV, I would be a wreck. I'm like a pretty productive person.
Yeah.
And when I stopped doing productive things in my house, everything blew up and I did not feel good. It took many years to get to that point to understand that. And then when we met and you would tell me to do what I love, I'd be like, but I don't want to do that again. Like I didn't.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying to go eat Doritos and sit around watching Netflix.
But my silly little newborn brain was thinking, well, before him, I liked to sit on like for free time. So
to do what you love, you have to be in the present moment. Like be in the now. It's like, what do you love now?
Yes.
What do you love to do now? What do you want next?
Yes. And usually it's that first voice, that first answer that pops into your head.
Well, not the mother voice.
No. No. To answer the question of what do you want to do. So usually if it's your own voice in your head that tells you, I want to go do some yoga. And so for me, what happens to hear that voice is I will ask myself, what do I want next? What do I want next? And the voice that comes in, that's the thing. That's your thing. And it's never, I want to eat Reese's Cups and drink Diet Coke and watch Netflix ever.
No, it's I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to rest. I want to sleep. I want to work. I want to play. Like,
yes.
It's something.
Yes.
And maybe for a short time, it's, I just want to do nothing for 3 days on a bench because I've been homeless forever and I'm exhausted. Fine. Do what you love and watch what happens. Did I stay there forever? No. I started following other impulses and new inspirations and I got out of it. I started helping people and working and whatever. Like, it's just so simple. You just practice it. But knowing what you love in the present moment is a skill that needs practice. Most people are super rusty. And then once you know what you love, actually acting on it, having the bravery to go against what other people say and the bravery to look unproductive or to do something different, also a skill that most people are rusty with. So until you practice both of these things, you will never reach true productivity. You will never reach that amazing life you want. They're both essential. You have to know what you want, what you like, what you truly love, and then you have to be brave enough to act on it because it takes courage every time to go out of your comfort zone. And what you love is always going to push you out of your comfort zone.
And it's always going to push people out of your life.
Yeah, that too.
And so people don't like this. And
well, that's the brave part.
But that's another reason why some people will experiment a little bit with doing what they love. And
then someone reacted badly, so I'm going to stop. Yeah. It's like, what? Do what you love and ditch everyone if you have to. Like, your soul did not come to earth to hang around these people. You don't choose your family, and I don't know why you're stuck with them. Like, go do what you love, and if they support you and they support what you love, great. You guys stay together. Be fam. If they do not support what you love, what the hell? Ditch that.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And don't feel guilty about it, because this is on them.
Yeah.
Some of my family support what I love, and I'm welcoming with open arms.
Yep.
I'm following my passions and you're on my side. Thank you. Some of my family do not support what I love. And I'm like, I'm going to stay miles away. If you want to hang with me, maybe try supporting what I love. I'm not hating on what you love. It's not rocket science. You want to keep people in your life, support what they love. You want them to go far, far away, hate on what they love.
Yeah, it's true.
And then families wonder what happened. They're like, oh, Jay's so weird. It's Jay's fault. He's so awkward. I can't get along with him. No, you hate what I love. You won't let me talk about it. You won't support it. You won't even be gently accepting of it. You're always crunchy about what I love. I'm not separating this fam. You are. I love what you love. That's why you want me around.
It's true. So I think that anybody who doesn't support you and doesn't love you and doesn't want you to do what you love, I think that you don't need them in your life.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. If you want a truly productive life, a fulfilling life, you got to do tasks that energize. How do we do tasks that energize us? We tune in to what we really love and we go do them bravely. Consequences be damned. It's how all your heroes have done. You look up to them and you're like, wow, I can't believe they did that. And they just followed their heart. Consequences be damned.
Yeah.
And part of that bravery is cutting off people who prevent you or hassle you about doing what you love. Some people have the courage to cut those people off. Some people don't. And I can predict with 100% certainty what's going to happen to each person. One will be fulfilled and the other will be unfulfilled. We all have some death time appointed to us. We all have death coming for us.
Yes.
But some of us will live fulfilled every day on our way there. And some of us will die unfulfilled.
Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I've had enough of feeling unfulfilled with my life up until the last few years, right?
Then you're going to have to do something about those voices.
So
doing more of what you love.
Well, that's why I thought we should talk about it, because I need to understand this.
Great topic.
I always come to you when I have an issue or when I have a question or I have anything.
Yeah, this was the realest talk we've had in the entire podcast. And all of our other episodes were still real talk.
Yeah. Well, the other podcast episodes, I have come to you with questions ahead of time. This time, I kind of had something that was bugging me or something I wanted to talk to you about. And I decided to try a different format to see how it would work,
And you did what you love.
I did what I loved. I did what feels best to me.
You literally said, I would love to get paid to just have a random chat with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so here we are, just having a random chat. Maybe it's the first seeds, the first step to doing that. And it never would have happened if you didn't have the bravery to try a different format.
Fair play. Well, I would love to know what everyone thinks about the format. I would love to know
what they think of this topic.
What you think about the topic. I was just going to say that. Oh, I have another question before we finish. And so this is what happens a lot of times on our Starbucks talks. One question leads to another and great conversation. So do you think that somebody's willingness to let go of people who don't support them in their life kind of will predict whether they'll be successful or not if they are willing or not willing to give someone, let go of family?
Absolutely. It's not just about letting go of family. It's also about hanging on to family and keeping people around who support you.
Right.
Sometimes there are people who are great to us in our lives and they support us a ton. And then they're kind of drifting or we're pushing them away or we don't follow up with them or we let those connections slide. And it's like, is that really what you wanted to do? Is that your intention? Did you intentionally lose that supportive person? So I'd summarize it more like whichever person has the focus, commitment, bravery, and heart to curate their social circles, family and friends included, properly and well, is going to succeed vastly better than one who doesn't.
Right. Very helpful. Okay, so I had not thought about how I would end the podcast, but I would not be productive if I didn't mention our book, Eyes Wide Open, Volume 1. And we are giving it away to everyone and anyone who wants it. Go to eyeswideopenfree.com and get your free copy. And you'll also sign up for our newsletter, which is pretty awesome, if I may say so myself. It's written by both of us, edited by both of us, and we love you. Thank you so much for listening to my question and giving me advice as always.
Thank you for an amazing conversation. Real talk, authenticity, honesty.
Yeah.
In a world that's missing it.
Yes. And productivity is something that I hadn't understood for a long time, but I'm really glad we had a chance to talk about this and that you guys got to see and or hear how we do things in our regular life. That conversation you just heard is pretty much what
a regular Sunday.
If we hadn't done it on the podcast today, I was going to bring it to you for our Sunday chat.
I love it. So my question to you is, could you have gotten this understanding of productivity anywhere else?
No.
Do they talk about it in books?
No, they teach you how to be more productive.
Do they cover it in YouTube videos?
I didn't see any, no.
I'm saying, read a blog post on it?
No.
So this is rare productivity knowledge.
Yeah, and because the ones that I did find were all how to be more productive.
Yeah, and even then, they never talk about the connection to energizing
No.
tasks. So it's a write-off. Like, they're going to be mediocre. Like, they're not going to help you that much, because the heart of productivity is the number of energizing tasks you choose in your 60,000 moments a day.
True.
You could go do all of their tips. It's still not going to help you if you're doing a bunch of draining tasks for 30,000 of those moments.
That's the thing.
So,
Most people do that.
right. But now that we've covered all this rare productivity knowledge, it's still only intellectual. You haven't gotten practice doing what you love. You haven't practiced tuning out those voices. None of that stuff.
Right.
Do you believe that you're going to practice this more, internalize this more, embody this more, and make this form of productivity your life? Or do you think you're going to kind of forget about it and backslide and go back to your old ways of listening to the regret voices?
No, I don't like that voice, right? And so I brought it to you today because of that.
So you think you're going to practice more?
Yes.
You think you're going to internalize this and embody this?
Yes.
So you think you're going to live a far more productive and fulfilling life by choosing energizing tasks over and over, regardless of what people think?
Yes.
All right.
I've been doing it more and more.
Yeah, I believe it.
It feels good. I actually get more work done. I get more engagement. I have more success in my business. I'm happier. I have more intimacy. I am happier, and I have more time to do the things that I really feel like doing. I love being able to lay down and do yoga in the middle of the day, or cuddle with you in the middle of the day, or whatever I feel like doing.
Great.
And yeah, it doesn't seem, I know that every time I do this, the day goes smooth and it feels good, and it's just a better day.
Yeah. So someone who knows this would always do it.
Yeah.
You think you're ever going to have a time where you forget to do it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Seems like just always do it. It's always a win.
True. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your brain and for helping me, teaching me, and everyone else. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share with me and our audience?
Yes. We just covered like a masterclass on how to live a productive, fulfilling life. We got right to the heart of the matter, the rare stuff that no one ever talks about. If you didn't get it, you should rewatch it.
Yeah.
But even watching it isn't enough. It has to be practiced and applied. And it's scary when you first start, like any new thing, like your first time swimming, your first time riding a bike. It's scary. It's always scary. It won't ever not be scary. That's just how it is when you get out of your comfort zones and try new things. I believe our audience is courageous and bold. They're amazing. They're smart. They're talented, and they're ready for this. And they deserve a productive, fulfilling life. And I can see it already. I can see y'all getting your dreams. I can see them unfolding. The more you prioritize energizing tasks moment to moment. And I know it takes practice to find out what you love and then to act on it. But you got this. I believe in you.
And that's why our book and this podcast are called Eyes Wide Open. After today, you'll know how to handle productivity and doing what you love. Please really do what you love. So now you can go here to this video called People Pleasers Are Abusers to help you understand how people pleasing and productivity go hand in hand, and to help you keep your eyes wide open.
Keep rising.